Totes Recall.
Welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we can't remember very well. Watch that movie while eating 2 pizzas and 2 salads. Thank you, patrons. And also water and other beverages.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay, let's not get off
City
track.
Utilities. My name is Dan. The
is
second
Molly.
half. I'm so sorry. The second half, we talk about the movie again. There's 2 halves to the podcast. My name is Dan.
This is Molly.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this episode is Frozen.
Oh.
As is tradition, it's Valentine's Day just happened.
Happy
love-
Valentine's
just
Day.
happened.
We're all feeling
lovebirds.
romantic.
Like
Yesterday.
it just happened. Like
Yeah.
we are hungover from
Yeah.
romance.
I've eaten so many heart-shaped chocolates
I
and
have.
chalk candies.
Dan, is it true that you have a heart-shaped pizza every year?
Correct. That is our
that is the
tradition.
cutest.
My wife and I's
Oh
tradition.
no, it's too cute.
It is.
And so, in celebrating love of all forms
And pizza.
and pizza, we're watching a Disney movie. Now, we are breaking somewhat tradition
Yes,
in that we are
absolutely.
not watching a 90s or earlier Disney animated classic.
Yes.
And we have now rocketed ourselves into the 21st century.
Yes.
Yes, I feel confident saying that with Frozen. A movie that came out. This might be the most recent movie we've done.
I think
Jaquette's
it
bet,
is.
7
most
years
recent
ago?
movie.
It might
we've done.
be.
7?
I
no.
think it was like 7.
Wow.
I was going to say 2014.
Well, depending on how you look at it.
Count time?
Yes.
Sure. I mean, this podcast will be around forever and pressed into a gold CD and sent to aliens.
yeah.
You're welcome,
So
aliens.
this movie might be 100 years old or
Yeah.
1,000 years old
Yeah.
even.
Well, Molly's bet 2013.
Wait, what? It's 2020 now. 2015.
Oh man.
You going to complete the run?
Yeah, what would that be?
16 or 12.
Okay, I'm going to say 12.
Oh,
Fun.
spicy.
Very
Uh,
spicy.
This is also, as is also our tradition, cross-promotional for Disney Studios.
Oh, yeah.
Unpaid
right.
promotional advertising.
Hey,
For this movie that came out a couple months ago.
Yeah, have seen Frozen 2 out in theaters, a couple months
Well,
ago.
and apparently our bump is working because it is the highest grossing animated film of all time.
really?
Yeah.
The second one or
Seriously?
the
So
1st one?
No, this one. It just came out, Frozen 2.
Wow.
That really surprises me.
Well,
I mean,
it-
people loved Frozen, the first one.
Yeah.
But
Episode 1, the first one.
Is
Yeah,
it big
episode
in
one, the first
global
one.
markets?
I think in global markets,
Yeah.
yes.
Mm.
But I mean, I'm going to see Frozen 2, in part based on how much I enjoyed the movie we are talking about,
Frozen.
Frozen, without the 2 on it.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that it is a love story that is not exclusively about, and in fact, pokes fun at the prince
Yes.
situation, right?
I enjoy the subtle subversion of the Disney princess trope that had been laid down for decades.
Yeah. I think it's nuts that Disney did not realize which was going to be the popular of the 2 sisters.
What do you mean?
They thought Anna, the boring one with no powers and without the cool song,
Okay.
was going to be the one that kids related to, and not Elsa,
really?
the very cool one with all the cool powers.
But
Yeah.
she's not she's the Frozen one.
Well,
Yeah.
she is, but when they first drafted it, she was actually a bad guy.
What?
Yeah.
Were they still sisters?
Yes.
Whoa.
She's kind of a villain at the beginning, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, in a way.
She's like sort of the villain until, spoilers, maybe she's not the villain.
yeah.
Well, okay, so it's
She's
like
a tragic villain.
It's like a superhero situation, right? Where like we see her origin story,
Yes,
Yeah.
it's tragic.
and then that's how she turns into a villain.
Right.
She goes into her ice house.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. I don't even know if she turns into a villain. Like, she freaks out and freezes everything, but she's not trying to freeze everything.
She like
Isn't that what Let It Go is about?
She's pretty angry.
Like she builds that whole ice palace and then builds a giant ice monster.
That's to, like, get her sister out, because her sister's like, you got to come back to the kingdom.
But isn't the whole thing that she sort of like the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, where like she sort of she's sort of like not unintentionally, but sort of like kind of just says fuck it, and then sort of feeds into the negative portrayal that is starting to develop around her society.
Well, the townspeople are very upset with her.
Because they're like afraid of her, right?
Yeah,
Well, because she freezes something. Doesn't she freeze the whole town?
Yeah.
It's like
Whoa.
winter
She, like, brings
happened.
I like half
Yeah.
remember this movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have never watched this movie for my own enjoyment.
Oh, nice.
We watched it once to try to get our son to not watch Moana.
How many times do you think you watched Moana?
Probably 50.
Nice.
There was like right when he was starting to watch things, it was like all Moana all the time.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
bought the soundtrack. We only played that in the car.
Yeah.
Whenever we were home, he wanted to watch Moana.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Which Moana's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not 50 times
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do a quick shut up nerds in a very specific subset of nerd.
Yeah.
No one's saying Moana isn't a good movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say shut up parents who have seen Frozen a million times.
Oh, yes.
Million.
I'm sure, like, and then we watched this, and he was fine about it. He was lukewarm. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
temperature pun.
Yep. There's going to be more of those, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't that into it. But we watched it all the way through.
Okay.
And then the second time, we watched part of it when we had to take him to the ER because he jammed a bead up his nose.
What? You jammed a beat up his nose?
Wait, wasn't
He
that,
jammed a bead up his own nose.
Oh,
wasn't
got
that
it.
pretty recently?
Yes.
There's been that much of a gap between the two Frozen viewings?
Yeah.
Wow.
And this was just like hey, shout out to the Children's ER up on Riverside. I think it's part of the M Health network.
Sure.
Podcast listeners love local references.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The M stands for Minnesota.
That's right.
Yeah.
We are in Minnesota.
Think about it.
Because they come in and they give you like a whole binder of like, here's the movie choices to watch while
That's
you wait / extract beads from noses. And he picked Frozen. We watched, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes of it.
Oh, fast.
That
That's
is-
great to get that beat out so quickly.
yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
I mean, I could go into depth. If
Oh,
you
no,
wanna-
that's
No,
okay.
we don't need
I mean,
more of that.
I would love that. I personally would love that, but we don't have to add that to the
Okay.
podcast.
bonus
I'm-
content, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Sign up for Discord. You'll find out later.
Here we go.
If there's a special level for that.
To just talk
Bead
about
top.
medical foibles. I'm genuinely surprised to hear that because my, childless understanding of the Disney machine is that like they are so engineered to capture the attention of young minds that like it is very difficult to not watch these movies like at least 4 to 10 times once you have exposed them to your child.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think this one, it was not our experience as parents, but I believe this one is gigantic in the realm of watching 1,000 times.
That's my
Yeah.
understanding.
I've seen so many Ilsa dresses just
Yeah.
in the world
Yeah.
on Classmates. We might have one, I think.
Sure.
I'm not sure if it's branded or not.
Just a blue dress.
Gotta
Yeah,
knock
it might
off.
just be a blue dress.
Right.
But yeah, this one, for whatever reason, did not thrill my child.
Do you think it was because he was so entranced by the tropical environment
Yeah.
that this harsh Scandinavian frozen hellscape was just like, ugh.
Maybe.
Like it's too similar to Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's not
Too real.
fantastical enough.
Maybe.
too real.
Or he's like, this environment might kill all of my beloved characters in Moana.
I mean, yeah, he could have been connecting with his ancestral home. My father grew up in Hawaii. No big
Okay.
deal.
Oh.
Wow.
Speaking of the movie that we're talking
Frozen.
about,
Frozen, the first
Frozen,
one.
the first one. It has one of my favorite characters ever, which
Okay.
is Olaf the snowman.
Yes.
And I appreciate Olaf because of, and probably in the same way I enjoy Amy Poehler's character on Parks and Rec.
Okay.
It's just this indomitable optimism.
He's an
And-
indomitable snowman.
Oh my God.
You're welcome, America and the world.
Yeah.
Global markets.
But his I Wish song to I Wish to Be Around for Summer
Yeah.
Yeah.
was just the sweetest. And I love a low status character who is also lovable and good and not just like meek and sad.
Yeah. And
Beth's bet.
Ooh.
That is the only part that I will like of this movie. Is
Olaf?
that song?
Ooh, shots fired.
No, just
Oh.
that song. I find that
Wow.
song very funny. The rest of the movie I find mediocre.
Really?
Would you say
Wow,
it's
wow, wow.
lukewarm?
Whoa.
It's lukewarm.
What? I am shocked by this. Really?
Yeah.
Line in the sand.
I didn't love this movie when I
Jaquette's
saw
bet?
it. I've only seen it one time. What's your bet?
I don't think it's that good either.
What?
Wow. And you saw 20 minutes of it recently.
Wow. I remember really liking this movie. I went and saw it in a theater with a good friend of mine who is great. So maybe that influenced.
Wow, we weren't there.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
So,
Sorry, everyone. I have an additional friend.
Sounds like you let it go on our friendship.
That sounds.
there's probably a better song for that, right?
There's probably.
I don't know any of the
Oh
other
yeah.
songs.
Could we should make bets about songs.
Well, okay. Can we just like kind of go over what happens in the movie?
Okay, here's my attempt
Yep.
at
Love it.
summarizing this movie because I saw it without children on a lark when it was available on some way to easily access movies at some point after it had already been in theaters.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two sisters in vaguely defined Scandinavian kingdom. They are royalty of this kingdom. One of the sisters has crazy ice powers. I don't remember if she was born with them or if it was some sort of curse situation. But she does something with them where her parents or some other authority figure, because maybe her parents are dead because it's a Disney movie, are like, this is a dangerous thing. We can't let this go crazy. So she lives a very sheltered life to the point where her relationship with her sister is sort of squashed a little bit because they are not able to interact as much as two young sisters should if they want to like develop and grow together. Then we cut to, they are some amount of older. I'm not sure if they're teenagers or if they're like in their 20s.
Yeah, that's
Because
fair.
it's like a fairy tale, so it's never clear to me.
Yeah.
They're like children, but they're also going to get married
Yeah.
in that Disney age.
Right.
Yeah.
So Frozen lady is now like kind of has like internalized trauma about this like thing that she's been shoved into her brain for her entire upbringing of like keeping her powers under control and not getting too like, I don't know, just like keeping herself on the level in case her ice powers go out of control. And her other sister is like, hey, I was bored my entire life because you were stuck in a closet or whatever. So I'm freewheeling and having a great time and maybe not a proper lady as a princess should be. Then there's at least one dude, maybe two. One of the dudes is like, hey, I'm from another kingdom. I matter because I'm rich. And then another dude is like, I'm a doofus. And also, you're pretty, one of the sisters. I don't remember which one. There's also a reindeer who acts like a dog, which I think was my favorite character in the movie.
Yeah,
Great.
that's true.
At some point, like we already talked about, Frozen loses control, at least enough for the town to freak out. And then she's like, fuck you. But, since it's a kid's movie, she just sings about letting go of her own repressed feelings rather than spitefully swearing at the entire town. She goes off and creates her own little ice palace to isolate herself. Is this
It's
going on
taking
for too
a long time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
All these parents who have seen it 250 times are just like, get to it.
Well, fucking
to it, Dan.
skip to the second half then if you want to hear us have opinions. Okay.
In the
all right.
end.
Okay, yes. So she's like, I'm going to go get my sister because this isn't fair because I still like her. One of the dudes come with me, or maybe the dude is like, I'm a man, I'm going to come with you because I need to because that's how this works.
Yeah.
The reindeer comes too. They meet Magic Snowman. Do not remember if Frozen made Magic Snowman or if he's just there. They go to Ice Palace. They're like, please don't be an ice witch. You are my sister. I love you. But then also maybe the other dude is like, now I'm going to stage a coup. And so they come back and she uses her ice powers to save the town. And at some point they learn, one of the sisters learns that the love of their, like the true love they have to be concerned about is a love between family rather than the love of a romantic partner. But maybe she still gets with the dude that she likes anyways. The end.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems mostly accurate.
Right?
I don't remember the end.
I do
I
remember.
feel like there's a boat.
Does
Dan's bet a
Oh,
boat gets
yeah.
frozen at some
There
point.
is
yeah.
there is a boat.
Does-
Right.
Well, there's definitely a boat at the beginning
Bet
because
achieved. Never mind.
spoiler alert,
does
the parents die
Frozen's
in the water.
sister have fire powers, or do
No,
I
no.
only think
no.
she should?
Come on. No, she does not. And the most touching part of the movie happens
Wow.
in the opening,
Yeah,
I don't know,
Dan,
10 minutes
you-
or so, when Elsa has
Is
sealed
Elsa
her-
frozen?
She's
Yes.
frozen.
Okay.
And she has locked herself away. And her sister
is a
just wants to
self-lock?
reach her.
No, I thought her parents
She-
locked her.
No. Well, it's a
she-
combination,
it's a
right?
combina-
she
no,
she does something to her sister.
Oh, someone
Yeah.
gets like mementoed.
What?
Or not
Stop
memento.
it.
Like brain wiped.
No.
What?
No.
Yeah. Jaquette's bet someone gets their memory erased.
With
Okay.
Frozen?
Yeah,
think she's-
maybe Anna, because I don't think Anna knows that Frozen froze her.
Ice powers?
No, she was just a baby.
I think she just gets touched and she gets too cold.
well, I wrote it
You
down.
get
It's my
sick.
bet.
As a baby.
How much do you think your enjoyment of this movie is due to sister themes?
I think it's very strong. I love my sister deeply, and the scene about 10 minutes in where Elsa's sister Anna is on the other side of the door is heartbreaking. I defy all of you to not feel something.
I remember finding that part very touching.
There you go.
She was-
Even if Dan feels something, come on, Beth.
I think okay, this is a real thing. I am so mad at Disney movies that kill off parents or siblings or whatever right at the beginning of the movie because I'm like, you're playing with our emotions right at the top. Unfair. And so I think right at the top, because the parents die in some sort of boat accident.
Some boating accident.
a
Some
yacht crash. Yeah, they
mishap.
were yachting mishap. And I think right from the top, I was mad at the movie.
Oh, do they get lost at sea?
Right?
Yeah,
But then they're lost for good?
yeah, but
I
like,
don't know.
Who's the surrogate parent then? Is it there's like a Weasley guy that's trying to
What?
weasel?
I thought that was the prince who came from Rich Kingdom.
He turns out to be bad.
No, there's like an
Molly.
executor of this estate.
also, I knew that he was bad the whole time.
Oh, the vizier.
And I
You
was,
did, really?
yes, I figured it out like immediately, and I was like annoyed.
Wow.
But
Oh,
also,
yeah.
I saw it when I was like, I don't know,
35.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah, 35
and in a
years old.
bad mood.
So my,
I was in a bad mood.
Just to,
Fuck Frozen.
just to be
Oh, wow.
just to be clear, you were mad at this
I just
movie.
want to say we have never dropped so many F-bombs
I love it.
in a single episode.
Okay.
And this is the one for a rated
but
G movie.
let's remember that let's remember once again, it's true, Totes, remember, our horniest episode was Wizard of Oz.
That's true. That is true.
Just to be clear, Beth,
Still
you
fuck that
got
scarecrow.
mad at this movie
Yeah.
for forcing you to feel sympathy for a character immediately.
Yep.
Well, it's just
Hated
like
it.
it's like that band, Cheap Trick.
I think. Sorry.
God.
It's Cheap Trick. It's me and Dad.
Quick, yeah, I was going to say, quick behind the curtain for everybody.
Yikes.
I've been discussing with this for a couple months now. I think it's because his son is old enough where they can have like full human conversations now. Dan has like ramped up his dad joke-atude like 1,000% recently, and it is
Going great.
killing me.
Going great.
No, I think the reason I'm frustrated with it is it's every single movie.
Sure.
Like the parents always die
Yeah.
at the beginning.
So the kids can have some autonomy, right? Otherwise, I'd just say, hey, be nice to your sister.
Yeah, or they'd be like, oh no, our frozen witch girl is going to destroy our hold on this town and throw her in the dungeon.
Doesn't the town
Right?
hate magic?
Yes.
Like
They're
there's-
scared of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, if her parents are still around, they might have been the ones to let her go.
Lock her up.
Oh.
Or
Let's talk about that when
unlet
we
her
come
go,
back,
right?
because I don't know.
Beth's bet there's also rock people.
What?
What?
It wasn't like
Like
Okay,
in
so
Game of
I'm-
Thrones?
Like these look
Here's
like
the thing.
strong hands?
there's I can't think of what the good
There's an abdominal
Hans,
snowman.
Hans is the bad boy. Right?
Ooh, but, like, is he the bad boy? Or is
He's got
he...
a
like the
leather
bad.
jacket with a big
Yeah.
fur collar. 'cause
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, yeah,
Scandinavian.
yeah.
Yes.
But what's the guy's name?
Franz.
Sven? Is Sven a guy?
Sven is
Franz?
the nice guy.
Isn't Sven the reindeer?
Wait, Sven is the reindeer.
There's definitely, I mean, there is
Franz?
for sure a character named, I was making a,
Oh,
Hans and
Hans and
Franz
Franz. I get
yeah.
it. Okay. I can't
LOL.
remember his name. Sorry, everyone.
it's probably like
Christoph?
Prince.
Christoph. Yes.
Is that good?
That is right.
Is that the bad boy or the bad boy?
No, that's the goofy. He's
Yeah.
like an ice salesman.
He was raised.
Yes.
Yes. But
That's
wasn't,
how he gets involved?
wasn't he raised by rocks?
What?
Aren't they like? Aren't they covered in like? Don't they do a whole dance number?
Wait,
Oh shit! Now I remember
or
that.
is that from the short before Coco?
No. I think you're right because Anna
Which
gets
was
like
real long, by the way, for a short.
frozen. Someone gets their heart frozen,
whoa.
and then they got to go to the rock people for a cure.
What?
That sounds right to me.
Yeah.
This sounds like a fever dream.
No,
This is
I'm on Team Beth
insane.
with rock people. I don't know if they're Christians. Parrots?
Okay, I was like, wow.
We're asking what religion they were.
yes. I
Who
mean,
knows what?
I mean, because if they are, they wouldn't practice dark magic like that. They would just pray to our Lord Jesus
The
Christ.
kingdom is definitely Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
So we've got a
Like-
Hans, we've got a Christian.
No,
I thought it was
Do we got an
Christoph.
Anderson?
Christoph.
I thought we were going full Hans Christian Anderson.
Yeah.
there might be some side characters as a little LOL.
Yeah.
Although this takes place in not that country, maybe.
Olden times.
Yeah, just old Scanda.
There's a funny guy in a sauna,
What?
right?
Oh.
At one point, don't they go into a sauna and he's like, "Hello."
Oh, that sounds right. Yeah, I think. What's his name? Christoph?
I don't know.
Christoph Waltz. He.
I would definitely watch
yeah.
that version of
Yeah.
Frozen.
Live action Frozen.
Yep.
I mean, it's coming, right? That's the cycle we're on.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Christoph sells ice, so business is bad now because there's ice everywhere. Because he lives up in the mountains.
Okay.
So
That
no one
seems
has
right.
to get mountain ice anymore because there's city ice. But I think he also runs like a general store and a sauna.
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 I declare.
Sauna.
I feel like they stop in there for some reason. Like he and Anna stop in because there's a whole journey.
Yes.
Oh.
The snowman meets up with them along the way.
Yes.
Oh, it's the Wizard of Oz.
It is kind of the
Whoa.
Wizard of Oz. Oh, which we all know what that means.
Oh, no.
Who's our Tin Man?
I guess we'll find out.
Hey, Molly's bet it's going to pass the Bechdel Wallace
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
How early do you think it's going to pass?
in the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
10. I'm going to go 2.
Me too.
All
Ooh.
right.
Hot bets.
What if my bet, first 2 lines of dialogue it passes?
Wow.
What?
Spicy.
There might be like a narrator.
Eh.
That doesn't count.
Okay.
I mean,
Wow.
dialogue.
Okay. Okay.
Unless the narrator speaks directly to a character.
Yeah. Isn't that right, my good friend Marjorie?
That's correct.
Linda.
June. Yep.
Oh,
Or Linda.
the narrator?
Or Linda.
Should we name the songs?
Yes.
Yes.
Let It Go.
Let it go.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Oh, yeah.
Summertime.
Some Olaf summer song.
Which one do you think it's called of those two?
I think it's just called. Oh wait, yeah.
Summertime and the
Nope.
living's easy.
Nope. Nope.
Olaf riding down with the Bee Gees.
Summer. I just remember that him doing like kind of a jazzy like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's summer.
Summer jazz?
I really, Dan's bet, I will enjoy that song because I love me a ribbon of darkness in an otherwise innocent piece of art. And I love the fact that he's singing this very cheerful song about something that will absolutely destroy him.
Yeah. Is there one that's like in the the first time in forever? Is that Moana?
What?
First time in forever. Is that a different thing? I don't know.
sound like
Oh, let's write it down.
First
Just
time
let
in forever.
It go.
Oh, there's Christoph has a song with the caribou.
What?
Reindeer.
Reindeer.
Is
Is
it?
it like, isn't it great? My best friend's a reindeer.
Well,
Is that the song? What's
Well,
the song?
it's a kind of a thing because I feel like the reindeer gives him a look a couple times when he's singing.
I think
was
there's
raised by rock people.
I think there's a whole song where the rock people sing about
Okay.
them being in love.
Who?
Rock Love. Rock of Love.
Christoph and Anna. This might be from the short before Coke.
Ooh. Conceal, don't feel.
What?
Conceal,
Don't
don't
Feel.
feel.
That song's
Yeah,
That's
real
a
as
song?
hell.
Oh, Conceal, Don't
It's like
Feel.
the realest as hell song, maybe even more than the Snowman.
that's
one.
right. That's a good one.
Wait, isn't that Let It Go?
Conceal,
No.
Don't
No,
Feel?
it's Conceal Don't Feel is the preamble to Let It Go. Because Let It Go is like, screw that song. I'm doing it this way now.
Okay, I got it.
What's the Hey, We're Sisters on Either Side of a Door song?
That's the Snowman song.
Yeah.
Oh, they want to build a snowman together, but they can't because there's a door between
I
them.
mean, one of them wants to build a snowman together. The other one, I think, is just like in the grips of depression.
Sure,
You
sure,
know
sure,
what?
sure.
It probably struck me. It was much like being on the other side of my older sister when she was going through adolescence.
Wait, is having ice powers puberty?
I mean, kind of.
Kinda,
yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of like metamorphosis, except, you know.
Because you're just like
it's
rage and
also-
icicles?
I'll talk about this more in the second half because I do have opinions about it. Like, it also has sort of become a little bit of like coded as like queer, but also like I have very strong opinions about how the Disney machine has dealt with that. That's a little teaser for the
Ooh.
second
All
half.
right.
Yeah, I'm looking
All
forward to
right.
hearing that.
But I think I saw or heard a very good interview with the writers of Frozen
Yes.
the music, and they were talking about how they were listening to a lot of Alanis Morissette and a lot of 90s power rock, like
There we go.
Angry Girl
Into that.
rocker stuff.
Yeah.
Which is what And some of it stayed in, like The Cold Never Bothered Me Anyway was kind of a holdover from that. So I think there's a lot of angry teenager in it.
Yeah.
Like, and I related to that.
Are there any other songs?
Oh, I'm sure there are a bunch.
Is there an I'm Evil song? Or is this like Aladdin where there should be an I'm Evil song, but it never comes?
Oh, from like the...
Oh, when the bad guy reveals himself as
Executive
bad?
Well,
Not even
States?
reveals himself, because you know what I mean? Like, there's always the, like, I'm evil and I'm winning song, but sometimes there's the, like, I'm evil and here's what I'm going to do to try to win song
Oh, when
earlier
Hans
in the movie.
finally turns evil, he's like, give me that kingdom, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be the king. It's me, Hans, I'm the king of everything.
Yeah.
You're
Twisting
gonna...
my mustache, look at my hat, or whatever.
Or in a fireplace.
Okay, Beth's bet. He doesn't have a mustache, but he does have mutton chops.
Whoa! Nice.
Here for
Right?
them
Thanks
chops.
for
I don't
mutton.
know. That's my bet.
Ooh, Dan's
All right.
bet. The sisters have got hella pipes.
Hella pipes.
Yes.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Well,
All right.
Well,
I'm just saying.
My bet is the movie's called Frozen.
Okay.
Okay, wow.
nailed it.
Wow.
I'm just saying sometimes, no shade, but sometimes you hire a professional wrestler turned actor to be one of your characters, and they do fine, but you can tell they're not trained singers.
Yep.
Yes.
What is that a reference to?
That was a reference to,
Moana. The character of Maui, voiced by Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
and again, he does fine,
he does fine.
but also you're like, yeah, this is about what I'd expect from The Rock,
Yeah.
I get it.
but he sells it.
Yeah.
That's confidence.
Yeah,
It is
I mean,
confidence.
look at him.
Yeah. Dreamy.
What do you think we should rate this movie in, Molly?
I think we should rate it in Frozen Rock People.
Ooh,
Wow.
So we are taking like a hard bet that is a real thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
My memory is real.
Believe women
Believe me.
and the men who back them up.
Oh.
I definitely believe that some weird bonus magic creatures were in the weird cash-in at the beginning of another movie, but I'm dubious that they're in this
Oh,
movie.
they're in this one. They try and mend her frozen heart, and they're like, rubble, rubble, rubble. We can't do that. Jump, jump.
Okay, so
They're
these
not
are
Ewoks.
people made of rocks, or they're people that
Yeah,
just wear rocks?
they're like rocks, and then all of a sudden they all move together, and then they like turn into like rock troll
So
things.
there's other magic in this world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
I don't remember any of this. I'm just going on blind faith.
so frozen rock people.
Frozen Rock People.
Okay.
How many?
And are these the same rock people Beth is talking about, or are these rock people trapped in ice for eternity?
Great question.
Oh, no, they're animated and fun. They're like Olaf if Olaf were made of rocks. Oh, how many rock Olafs?
Ooh, I like that.
That's more
okay,
fun.
so it's like later in the season where
it down,
Olaf
you
gets
wrote it
hit by the plow too many times, and a lot of street grit is kind of sunk in. Got it. Okay. Okay.
So it's Olaf made of rocks. It's not Olaf in a rock band.
Well, whatever suits you.
Is he also in a rock band?
He is.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, so I remember not having as spicy opinion, or I mean, not spicy, but spicy for the zeitgeist opinions about this movie as two of the other people at this table. I'm sure we'll get there. But I also don't remember being like, yes, this is absolutely the goddamn best. Good job, Disney. This definitely deserves all of the hype it's getting. I'm going to go Cowardly Rock Trio.
Oh, okay. Nirvana.
Just maybe, set of drums, guitar, bass, or piano. I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, it's up to the snow people. We don't know who else is in this band.
We
Might
don't
even be
know.
the reindeer. I don't know. 3.
So just so I'm clear, my version of the Rock Olaf is Olaf voiced by the Rock.
Yes.
Whoa!
And I'm going to say 2 because I don't think this movie is good.
Wow.
But I would love to be proven wrong by watching it.
My rock band is
Frozen Rock Band.
the Frozen Rock Band.
Frozen Rock Olaf.
Frozen Rock Olaf. In the vein of the White Stripes,
Oh.
there's only 2 members. I'm giving it a 2. I think this movie's boring.
Wow.
Are they related, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
Or were
no,
they married?
Were they married?
Jesus.
Think
I
they
don't
hated
remember.
Each other.
Whoa!
That's what I thought. Okay.
Molly's bet.
Jack and Meg White hate each other?
Yeah. Or at least hated each other.
I mean, they can stay. That doesn't preclude either of the other things. They can be siblings who hate each other or ex-spouses who hate each other.
I do know what it is, though. For real.
Whether they hated each other or not?
Well, I don't think they hated each other, but they did get divorced, and then they didn't want people to ask them questions, so that's why they said that they were siblings. So people wouldn't say like, "Oh, how is it to be a divorced couple that's still in a band together?"
Wait, they told people they were siblings?
Yeah.
That wasn't just a weird thing that people talked about?
No, they said that they were siblings.
Oh.
So when did they...
At least I remember that being true.
boy. Tweet at us.
Yeah.
Anyone, Jack White, Meg White, or Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
Hashtag declared fake siblings or
Assumed.
hashtag assumed fake siblings.
Yeah.
There you go.
Quick Twitter sidebar. It's February 15th. We're definitely still tweeting a dog every day at Channing Tatum.
Absolutely. Everyday J 2020.
No one has given up on that yet.
I believe was established in a bonus content,
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
right?
The 2020, yes, is the
Okay.
year Everyday Che 2020 dog tweets.
Yes. Get on Patreon to hear it.
Send us pictures of your dogs if you want us to then send them to Channing Tatum on Twitter.
And who wouldn't?
We have not given up on this.
No,
After-
certainly not.
The 45 days or whatever it
We
is.
haven't. We're doing it.
Definitely. We're
a good
definitely
idea.
still doing it.
Hashtag everyday Che.
We're definitely still doing
2020
it.
dog tweets.
We definitely haven't been blocked by Channing Tatum's Twitter account.
Why would you block dog tweets?
I don't know.
He's going to
Channing?
step up.
Get in touch with us
Please.
via
We
Twitter.
have so many random questions for him. Okay. The question at hand is how many
Rock
Rock Olafs will I give this movie? And I think you're all being a little sad about this movie.
Whoa.
And I'm hoping that's true because I really want to enjoy the next 2 hours of my life. So I'm going to,
You think
hours.
it's 2 hours?
God,
or 90 minutes?
I guess
it's
we'll
gonna
find
be a
out.
cold 90.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna step out in faith and give it 4 Beatles-sized
Yeah.
Rock
Wow.
Olafs.
Wow.
Standard rock setup.
Standard, yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Great.
And
Oh.
with that, we're going to press pause, go watch Frozen, and we'll be right back. Hey, Totes listeners. We'll get back to the podcast in just a second, but first we want to tell you about Discord. Did you ever think to yourself, I can't get enough of Totes Recall and wish I could chat with them online in a format that's convenient to me and to Patreon?
As well as the performers of Totes Recall the
Yes.
podcast.
Yeah.
I wonder what they talk about when they're not working, which is pretty frequently. I wonder what
But
massive...
if our bosses are listening, we work hard. all day.
Always
the
working.
time.
Always working.
I turn off my internet until I need to check my email. Then I turn it on and then turn it off again immediately.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now there's a channel devoted exclusively to regrets of
Yes.
all kinds.
Ooh.
So
Yes.
if you are interested in joining us on Discord, join us on Patreon. And to do that, go to patreon.com/totesrecall and follow the instructions from there.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, listeners. We appreciate you. And now we're back to Totes Recall. And we're back. We just watched 1 hour and 43 minutes of ice magic and
Oh.
love and a very good reindeer.
Oh. The
Yeah.
best reindeer.
Happy Valentine's Day, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
We love you.
Love is in the air for a reindeer.
Is there?
What?
Well,
Because we love him.
Oh, we
We love the reindeer. Christoph loves the
Oh,
reindeer.
you were saying we love you to the listeners.
To the
Yes.
Totes.
You thought he was talking to the fictional reindeer?
I mean, we did love him so
I
much.
did. Oh,
But also, we love you, listeners.
yes.
thanks for listening.
Well, that was
All
a
right,
good
see you
podcast.
later.
All right.
Tune in next month for March. No, before we get into the movie,
Yeah.
beloved segment,
Ooh.
hashtag 6xsum.
60-second summary.
Yeah.
Send in your theme song submissions
Yes,
to hello@totesregal.com.
Yeah.
Who is feeling inspired
Not
to
Dan
summarize this
Linden.
movie? Wow.
What?
Wow.
I think since you felt he did such a terrible job,
You should
the
show.
onus is upon you.
Yeah, you have
Yes.
to show me how it's done.
Yeah.
I'll put,
I agree.
yeah. Ready?
Definitely, it's not because I haven't done it for 12 episodes, so Molly should definitely do it.
Do you want to do it, Beth?
No, I don't.
Do you guys want to Rochambeau for it?
What is it?
What is that?
Rock,
Rock,
paper,
scissors,
scissors.
paper.
Oh,
That'll take too long.
Okay.
maybe if we can take each other out if needed.
Yeah, I
wow.
like that. So we'll
Team effort. You're
we'll
like
team up.
the Ilsa
Yeah.
and Anna of the 60
Yeah,
second
we're gonna
summary.
pass the Bechdel Wallace
Nice.
within this 6X
Summary.
sum.
Love
Okay.
Yeah.
it. Okay, Molly, are you ready?
Yes.
And go.
Well, Beth, it starts out with some ice cutters.
Is that true, Molly?
It is. And we learn a little bit about the ice cutters, but mostly we learn about Kristoff and his wonderful reindeer, who the whole movie should be about. But also there's a kingdom, and everything that Dan said in the beginning was pretty much accurate in that there are oh gosh, I'm usually okay at this. Let's see. All right.
You spent too much time shitting on me. What's the problem? 30 seconds.
There are two sisters. They're in a castle.
One sister has ice powers.
And the other one does not. And they're playing, and the other sister gets iced.
And then she gets healed by trolls, which will happen twice. It also happens at the end.
And you
Anyway,
could-
then
yeah.
she goes off. The Frozen goes off and builds an ice castle and
10
tries to shut away
seconds.
the world. But then she has to come back, and there's a choice, and the true love choice is between siblings and not the fraud man who is going to take over the coup.
Time.
Nice.
Fraud man who's going to take over the coup.
Amazing.
The coup.
I do want to say that Molly did use your summary within her summary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else picked up on
It
that.
was so detailed, I figured let's just cross-reference it from the beginning.
Wow.
I do want to say I have 60-second summaried much more complicated movies, but under less pressure.
That is
so.
true.
That is true.
No one is saying you're bad at summarizing. Some of us don't judge our friends based on their ability to quickly summarize a story.
Yeah. Seems like it's maybe not such a big deal, and you should let it go.
Or, if you prefer, cool it.
Yeah.
Oh, let it go, teens.
Yeah.
There were other songs in this movie.
There were.
Yeah.
There were.
But man, that song really just gets in your head.
It sure does.
Let it go really
Yeah.
hits you.
Or at least the chorus does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all
I think, I mean, I don't want to jump all to the end and say this, but I guess I do. This movie was fine for me. I think it flies in the songs more than the rest of the movie.
I remember. Oh,
Oh, I was going to say, I don't even like the songs.
Any of them?
What about Let It Go?
what about
Those
What
hella
about
pipes.
Love is an Open Door?
No, I don't like that song.
Summertime Snowman?
That one I do like. That was Beth's bet. It was correct. I did enjoy that part of the movie. I also liked another part where the reindeer caribou was his tongue was stuck on
That's good.
a frozen
Really,
stairway.
any scene where Sven the reindeer was a central character was absolutely exquisite, no question. I remembered, like 2/3 of the way through watching this movie, I think during the troll song, that I remembered the first time I watched it actually having the thought of like, oh, you can tell this one was written like, you can tell this movie was written more by kind of Broadway trained artists from the jump, as opposed to older Disney movies that were like created and then turned into Broadway stage adaptations. Because like this one is very much, it feels more like a stage musical in the way it's structured. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where like in this one, it's like, I don't know, like it just seems more of like an explicit turn of just like, and now I will sing a song in a different style. Is it necessarily forwarding the plot? No, but it's what my character cares about. Like I feel like there's a couple of those in this movie that aren't, I don't know, I feel like the kind of the usual romance Valentine's Disney movies we've watched, they're usually a little more, most of the songs are more narrative driven than in this one. Like in this one, some of them are definitely narrative driven, but a lot of them are more just like,
This is how I feel.
this is how I feel about this very specific subject matter that I'm going to tell you about right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is she letting go or advocating for the letting of go?
She's not concealing anymore. She's feeling.
Let her
She's letting go
feelings
the charade.
Well, she's letting go of the intense repression.
Yeah. And like that little voice in her head that was like, be careful all the time and don't ever.
Yeah, I think her parents
Let's get into it.
did her dirty. Is that the right turn of
Okay,
phrase?
now-
Ill of the dead.
come on.
Okay, well, it's their fault they died.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the most graceful, like subtle parent death scene
Oh, man.
sequence I think I've ever seen in a Disney movie.
For sure.
You almost would miss it if you were a little enough kid.
Yeah. I think you wouldn't understand, like, they were at a funeral because she's wearing all black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if
They
you
like
compare
put
that,
a sheet over their portrait.
yeah, I mean,
But maybe they're cleaning, they're dusting, they don't want the
no,
portrait.
but I mean, like if you're a kid and you're taking in a bunch of information, like I didn't understand that Dirty Dancing was mostly about sex until, well, no, wait, no, that one I did.
Yeah, you did.
But Grease,
Well, those
the musical,
watermelons.
I didn't
Yeah.
understand was mostly about
No,
sex,
me neither.
right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty explicit,
Right.
But I guess my point is, if you compare that to something like The Lion King, where that death scene is so brutal.
Yeah.
This one was actually, I really honestly appreciated that it was like, this sad thing happened to these characters you barely know, and it's furthering the plot.
Yeah.
And here are some artistic signals
Right.
that they have indeed passed, but you're not going to have to answer a lot of questions from your kid.
God, I feel the opposite way for the same reasons.
Interesting.
If that makes sense. Like the death in Lion King
Right.
feels like it matters a lot more. It
Yeah.
helps build the character of Simba. Like every part of it is important. It's like sort of his fault, but not really. But it's set up, and then it's like a huge emotional impact as well as character driving.
Yeah.
and it's just like, yeah, we gotta get the parents gotta get killed. Fucking, they drowned on a boat. Who cares? Like it like doesn't matter almost. But it's the parents dying. It should matter the most. But it is
No,
really just
not
like
for this story.
right. And I don't like that as much. I want.
You want to feel
parents-
sad?
I want parents dying to matter. Child of
Because-
mine.
Well, I mean, in Lion King, I know this is another movie, but in Lion King, it is important. Like,
Yeah.
it is, the circle of life is a whole thing about it.
Yeah.
They talk about life and death constantly in that movie. And so seeing death, I think, is part of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But in this one, it really is like,
Just something they got to
but you
get
know
out
what?
of the way to get to the point of.
I don't know why, though. Like, because why couldn't they be there and all of that happen? I guess because they need no one in charge at all, because the structure
we
of
have
the
to talk
government
about
makes
this.
no sense.
Yeah, I mean, from a narrative standpoint, the parents have to be gone so that the sisters, all they have is each other, but Elsa refuses to allow that support structure to thrive.
Oh my God, it's so sad.
Yeah, it is sad. So, like, from a narrative point of view, that's why the parents had to leave. But, like, yeah, it's still.
Was she locked in her room all the time?
I don't think she was ever locked in, right?
Yeah, they weren't locking the door. She was locking herself in.
They just locked the gate of the
But
castle.
did Anna and Ilsa see each other ever?
I guess.
Or is it like at the coronation? It's like, oh shit, it's been 10 years.
Well, I mean, Molly,
or however long it's
quick,
been.
Molly, quick excitement moment. My parents are divorced. When I was a child, in retrospect, like I realized, like, oh, I almost never saw my parents in the same part of the house.
Oh,
right?
like Fight Club.
What?
No, what?
Yeah,
Like your dad is Tyler Durden.
Oh yeah, my dad was building.
that's what he talks about.
my
Edward
dad
Norton's got
was-
a monologue
my
about
dad
how he
was
witnessed
building bunk
his
beds.
parents do the same thing when Tyler Durden and Helen Bonham Carter are never in the same room together.
I was gonna say my dad was building bunk beds in the basement while my mom was, I don't know, printing something out at work. It doesn't matter. That's another movie.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, like, it's certainly possible to share a residence and have little to no human connection between you.
Yeah.
Especially residents that large.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And when there's no one else
And there's,
there.
like 3 servants.
Okay.
Also, they. Go ahead, Beth.
I have so many
Fired up.
questions about how Anna. Am I saying that right?
They all said Anna. I think.
Anna.
Anna.
Okay, that how Anna is like social at all. Because if she was like 6 and then no one talked to her, including like clearly no one is talking to her because there's no adults after a certain point, right?
Yeah, they fired all the staff.
Well, no, they reduced their staff.
Oh.
Yeah, reduced. Okay.
Well,
They
no, did. They were
downsized?
like,
They
To
downsized.
increase efficiency.
Yeah.
yeah.
They
okay.
fired them. Just because the parents were dead.
No, they fired them
that's
before.
Oh,
they
they fired them
died.
before because they had a magic child.
That was part of the whole issue, is that the king had left all these very strict edicts about how the palace should be run, and then apparently left like no instructions about what should happen if he disappeared.
Yeah, who is there? There's no We've got no
Minister of
Lumiere.
Finance.
We've got no Miss Potts.
It's unclear who's even in charge of the kingdom.
But they would have had to leave their kids with somebody, right?
Well, and also,
I guess they were like teenagers
They
at
were
that point.
adults,
She's like,
basically.
see you in 2 weeks.
but she is the whole like inciting event of this movie is her coronation, which means someone was the de facto executive power of that kingdom until she came of age. But we never see that person unless it's the clergy person that hands her the scepter.
I mean, are we seeing it from
maybe.
Anna's perspective?
Maybe.
Like she felt alone?
Maybe.
She felt like the paintings were her best friend?
Yeah.
Oh, P.S. Beautiful moment of her trying to fit in with these cultural icon paintings over time.
That was
Yeah.
cool.
Very
that
interesting.
was a nice touch.
Was there? Those are famous paintings.
A lot of them were, yes.
Okay. I don't know my
Philistine.
paintings.
I didn't recognize.
I
any
didn't
of it.
recognize any of them either.
But I liked the dynamic during that song where she kept matching the physicality of the people in the paintings. That was fun.
But it was
It was
also
great.
all about finding a man.
Well, exactly. That's what the culture had prepped her
sure,
for.
sure.
yeah.
That's the whole
Because
subversion.
She's been raised on fairy tales?
Probably, right?
I mean,
Or
books.
just these paintings.
I don't-
Maybe. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe anytime the like chambermaid or whatever was like going around picking up slop of the other 3 people, I guess, that live in
Yeah.
the castle, she's like,
Please
Anna,
play
just,
with me.
Anna, just
Oi, get in there. Look at those paintings.
go look at the paintings, appreciate appreciate the artwork.
It's Joan of Arc, isn't it?
It's me, Swedish chambermaid. Although she could have come from one of the apparently other European powers that
Yeah.
were all their trading partners.
Okay, that's another B I got in my bonnet. So everybody's coming for the coronation. Great. We've got people from Ireland, people from France,
Yep.
an English guy from Weaselton.
Yeah.
But then they all just hang out while it's frozen.
Right.
Still fine. The harbor's
Yeah.
frozen.
Yeah.
But then somehow they're in charge. Like at the end, Hans is meeting with the council of all these lords from other places. Where's the small council of Arendelle?
I mean, I was
Government's going to fall apart.
To be fair, given the time period, I was just reading about how Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte and Tsar Alexander of Russia literally met and basically said, hey, we're just going to split up Austria between us, right? And the Austrian prince or whatever was literally like there with them, but wasn't allowed to be in the meetings. So it kind of tracks that some various authority figures of European powers at the time might be like, all right. Let's just figure this out so things don't get crazy and the peasants think that things are in chaos and might get a little too excited and storm the now unlocked gates of this palace.
I mean, okay, but can we talk about this town a little bit more?
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
as far as we
please.
know, there is one industry, and it is ice harvesting.
So are we to believe that when Weaselman says like, oh, your top trading partner, like that is their export? They're exporting ice to these other European
We have
powers?
been introduced to no other. I mean, there's like a marketplace.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, if that's true, shouldn't they be excited how much ice they now have?
like, we're rich.
We're rich in ice.
I don't know.
Bring ice to our town.
Also, wait a minute. The movie opens with like a dozen buff icemen singing about how buff they are.
Yeah.
How come the council of men who decided they're in charge weren't like, get all the ice cutters to start cutting out these boats?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a weird. We were very much paying attention right at the top for our Bechdel Wallace bet. More
Yes.
of that in a second. But I found it a little surprising that in this movie that is subverting standard heteronormative stuff
Yeah.
and about sisters that we start with a bunch of buff men cutting ice and then
Agreed.
introduce Kristoff, right?
Right.
Introduce the love interest before we see
Ooh, is
our
that like
protagonist.
his? Is that like his paintings? Like his
The Icemen?
Yeah. So his media portrayal is super buff men who sing about how buff and strong they are,
Right.
which is also unrealistic.
Right.
But he ends up being sensitive and kind because he wasn't raised in that society. He was
Oh,
raised by
who
trolls.
was he raised by?
Oh, rock trolls?
Was it frog people?
Okay.
All
Oh, yeah.
right.
Okay.
Interesting.
Who said that?
Yeah, that's so
Sorry,
weird.
let me check my notes
Yeah,
here.
why don't you look in your notebook, see who might have written that
Oh,
down?
it says Beth wrote it down.
Oh, interesting.
And then who
Beth
backed
didn't
her up?
write it down.
Who backed her up? I did.
What else did you say that you were mad that you were right about?
Oh, that there was some memory erasing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They did. The rock trolls erased Anna's
did.
memory
They erased her
of
memory.
the magic.
Well, I'm sure if that had
Was it
happened, I would have
memento,
included it in the
She didn't have to get
summary.
tattoos to figure out.
Well, maybe
And
she did.
do her leg
Isn't the white
backwards.
streak in her hair kind of a tattoo?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it is.
It's like a hair tattoo.
Yeah,
Hair
it's a hair
tattoo.
tattoo.
Yeah, so Kristoff is raised by
Trolls.
trolls, right? Oh,
That is,
okay.
Does he get kidnapped? Like,
Does
what is
he?
happening?
Yes, he absolutely does.
Okay. So at the beginning of the movie, he is like with all those men, but he's
Yes.
not really with them.
I think he's like an apprenticeship, right?
Well,
or do you think
trying
he's
to
like
keep up?
like one of them is his dad?
I assume,
Probably.
right?
That's
He's
what
just
you
a
think
tag
at the
along.
beginning.
So, but how did he get to the rocks in the first place without the dads around?
Because
He
he.
By the way, all of them are his dad.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
He's
yeah.
got 12 dads.
Absolutely.
That's a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just walking through the
With
woods
his
with his pet
fucking-
reindeer.
That destroyed me. The puppy version of Sven right out the
Yeah.
gate was like that was my anti-parents dying right away. Like for me, like as soon as they showed
it won
puppy
you
Sven,
right
I was
away?
just like, yes, I love
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah, very
He's
cute.
very,
and then
very
he pulls
cute.
a little sled. Very cute. But then I guess, does Kristoff get lost or distracted?
So I think because it seems like, here's the thing. His dozen fathers are too busy working,
Yeah.
And being
modern dads,
strong men.
being strong men. They're too focused, and also #capitalism. They're too focused on getting their goods
Yeah.
to market
Yeah.
to realize that he's falling so far behind because they only gave him one puppy reindeer to pull his sled.
Yeah.
And the ice cube probably weighs like as much as Puppy Sven at that point. So of course he's going to lag behind. And then I guess Elsa was having like anxiety ice exhaust when they were riding to the trolls. So he saw the ice and followed it just on a lark because he loves ice.
That's
Yeah, he
right.
loves ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's passionate about his work.
That's
you know.
all he's been told his whole life is like, seek out the ice, my boy.
The ice will set
And
you
so-
free. We'll
Yeah.
break
Just for
free of
the
serfdom.
listener,
Yes.
if you haven't watched Frozen recently, the way it takes place is Sven and Kristoff show up. They're peeking over a rock that
Yeah.
turns out to be a troll,
Yes.
who turns out to be a lady
Yes.
who says, "You're cute, I'll keep you."
Yeah.
basically.
And then it's like LOL, but then an hour later,
You find out.
Kristoff introduces the rock people as his family.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
And we have the most disturbing song.
Yeah. I mean, talk about toxic family dynamics
Oh,
throughout.
Wow.
My God.
Like,
I
they
like
just-
couldn't even believe that song.
They have no
So the-
boundaries,
yeah,
which I
the
guess we got a
song is-
preview of when she's like, I'm just going to keep you.
The song is Fixer Upper.
Yeah.
Basically, like, Kristoff sucks, but we love him anyway.
Yeah.
And
But
you,
also-
you can change him, Anna.
You know
Yeah,
what?
they
It
straight
reminded
up
me of
say
the
that.
toast that families give when their sons marry
Yes.
nice people sometimes, where they're basically like, my son is a jerk and ill-mannered and
Oh, yeah.
basically
Right.
a wolf. But this wonderful
Not
lady,
that wolves are
through
bad.
the power
We'll get
of
to
love
it.
and her classiness,
Yeah.
transform him into a decent person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
I got another bee in my bonnet. Y'all.
This is about wolves or trolls?
Oh, God. Okay. There's nothing wrong with wolves, Molly. Hashtag good wolves.
Yeah.
Good wolves,
There's
good wolves.
bad wolf representation in this movie,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to be
Yes, just as I. But also, yes, I agree, Molly. And that's part of this cloud of low expectations on men that really serves to let them off the hook.
clear. Yes.
I
Like-
mean, you see it at any aspect of being a man, but
Right.
like I definitely noted it being a dad. Like no one expects shit from fathers,
Yeah.
which means that a lot of them can get away with being shitty.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's no good for anybody.
No.
No.
Expect more from men.
Yeah, and maybe
Hashtag.
expect a little less from women.
Yes.
Because the thing is,
expect
the
less
reason
from women.
women are so nervous about their child showing up at school looking a mess is because no one's going to be like, hey, that dad didn't
Yeah.
look after their kid.
Right.
They're going to
Yeah.
blame the mom.
And if the kid dresses themselves, if you have a fun, creative kid who just wants to dress himself and they show up looking like a weirdo, which is a delight.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's always like, oh, did dad dress you today?
come on.
Oh, man. That's dumb.
What were you
Anyway.
going to say, Beth?
What I was
Anyway,
going to say
Frozen.
is that, okay, the song says he's a fixer-upper.
Yeah.
Like, essentially you can fix him with your love.
Yeah.
And then they find out she's engaged and then call her a fixer-upper.
Yeah.
Like she's flawed because she's already like not in love with their kidnapped child.
They kind of
and then they completely take it back. They're like, oh wait, actually you can't change anybody. No one can be changed. That was part of the song the whole time. We didn't mean to say that you could. I mean, it's about love. Just love each other, sisters, brothers.
It's really about family.
But then also after that, they're like, but also get in this marriage hole. We're going to marry you now.
Yeah, they dig a marriage hole and throw him in it.
Oh, it reminded me of The Office.
What?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe The Office is based on something else. I don't know.
The Office is based on the novel by Hans Christian Andersen.
Yeah.
In The Office, I believe it's romantic to get married in the hole you'll be buried
Yes,
in.
you're married in your own grave.
Yes.
Wait, this is a real thing?
This
Yes.
is the final episode of
The
The
TV
Office.
show The Office?
Yes.
In The Office.
U.S.
Dwight
dig a hole?
Schrute. You might remember Dwight Schrute from The
Yeah.
Office. He wears
Mary's-
glasses.
He did some time in the Twin Cities in the acting.
Is that
Ray
true?
Wilson?
Chan? Was he at the Chan?
Yeah.
Guthrie, probably.
baby.
Okay.
My wife met him. No big
Oh,
deal.
must be nice.
Can we get back on track and
Okay.
talk about
It's a
this
podcast. We got to talk
television
about local
sitcom?
things.
That's true. So they do this like very minimal prep for that song, justifying that song, where he's like, oh, they're kind of intense and they don't really know how to be appropriate. So there's sort of like, there's this throwaway line of just like, don't worry about the lyrics to this song. All the trolls have no concept of like what is appropriate or proper.
How does he know that? He was raised by them.
Raised by trolls.
I guess
that's
because he
his-
like talks to the
Other
merchant
people.
class of
I guess so.
what's the kingdom called? Arendelle, when he sells his ice.
Yeah.
Like maybe he like tells stories like, I heard a friend of mine was talking about how his family unit
Has no boundaries.
yeah. And then maybe like the French guy who's buying ice and he's just like, you need to advocate for yourself and your own choices in your family planning. I lost the
No,
accent.
he sounded
Ho-ho.
exactly like
Yeah.
the emperor.
Here we are in Arendelle. Yes.
I mean,
The
Arendelle is
kingdom is
basically the
frozen.
Naboo of the
Well,
Disney World.
Yeah,
right?
we did decide Hugo. No, what's his name?
Hans.
Has an H. Had a real Dom Hall.
Dommel?
Dommel? Gleason?
Quitchuitas.
Dragon Weasley.
Dragon Weasley? I remember you chattering about this during the movie, and I did not understand it
He
then.
plays one of the Weasleys in the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, and he's also
and I believe it's
new-
the one that trains dragons.
He's also new Space Hitler in the new
Yes,
Star Wars.
he
How
is
to
new
Train
space.
Your Dragon Hitler. Space. It's that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, Hans looked like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then one of Weasel Man's like assassins /
Thugs.
just
Yeah.
heavies.
Goons.
Goons.
Yeah.
His royal goons. One of them looked a lot like Eric Trump.
Like,
Yeah.
almost
and like
exactly
once you
like
saw it, you could not unsee it.
Yeah. And just really boring. It looked really boring.
And mean.
Some of the characters in this look cool.
Yes.
Eric Goon didn't.
No.
Did we say what year this movie came out?
We didn't.
I
It's
never did.
2013. Molly nailed it.
Oh,
Yay!
nice. I was just curious. Like, I was like, wouldn't it be amazing if you went back to the movie and you realized that both of them had been modeled off of Eric and the other one,
Trump boys.
Them
Yeah.
Trump boys.
Trump boys,
Them Trump boys. Yeah.
and then we're all like, ooh.
Yeah. I
way to
mean,
go.
they might have. They might have seen him on the TV and be like,
Their hair, at the very least, is based off of
Well,
that.
but that hairstyle, like, who wears their hair that way pre this situation we're living through right now?
Wait, which
Would
hair?
just slick back your hair
Oh, slick back
all the
your
way
hair?
around. Who
Man.
has that haircut?
Villains?
Villains.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying in this chicken and egg scenario.
Right.
Yeah.
And like 80s stock people who are
Oh,
also
Who are also
yeah.
villains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
Right.
Yep.
So the Frozen is the movie we
Frozen
watched.
is the
Yeah, we
movie.
did watch
There's two
Frozen.
sisters, which we talked
Yeah.
about a lot. Is this a puberty tale?
Yeah.
Are they? She expresses her sexuality for once in her life, and her parents shut her away in a closet until she comes of age.
See now,
Well, they tell her she should be ashamed. Well, they tell
should
her
be
she should be
ashamed
ashamed
of
of
it.
her power.
Which is her feminine power. Am I right?
Well, it could
Am
be.
I
But it's
right?
also her creative power.
or
I think it can just really be anything.
Yeah.
It's magic.
Right.
It's literally magic in the
Right.
movie, but I think you can equate it to whatever like kids are told to hide that's different.
yeah, and so that is why partly the fact that it's that element of her story, and then the fact that she has no romantic interest in this movie that people
So
kind of
she must be interested in a woman.
well, people just latched on to like maybe she's just not heteronormative.
Sure.
And that's fine and that's great. But what pisses me off about that kind of thing, hot take here.
Uh-oh.
Look
Here
out.
it is.
Hot take, cold movie.
Hot take on movie.
I lit a match.
Oh, nice. So after this became a thing, and this happens all the time, but this was like the first one that I noticed or was paying attention to. After that became a thing, they were very like annoyingly coy about it. We're just like, yeah, they kind of were just like, sure, that's a valid interpretation, blah, blah, blah. And then they kind of like leaned into it enough to be like, yeah, let's say she's queer. You know what I mean? But they always were just like, I don't know. There was some quote from one of the writers or maybe someone involved in the movie where they said something about like, I don't know, like, oh, there's discussions of maybe, because people were saying like there was, like one of the, like an internet movement that happens for this sort of stuff where it's like give Elsa a girlfriend, hashtag, you count, whatever.
Okay.
And he made some statement of just sort of like, oh, like basically like, this like performative bullshit of like, oh, there's discussions about it if we make a sequel. And it's like, just fucking do it. Right?
Yeah.
Like if you're going to do it, just fucking do it. And Disney's been doing this a lot lately and it's fucking ridiculous.
Just towing the line.
Well, where they're just sort of like they're giving themselves trophies for having the like there was this whole thing with the live action Beauty and the Beast thing where they were like, and people make fun of them now where they were like, oh, there's an exclusively gay moment in the new adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, and it's just like okay, and it was basically just like one of the characters and another character appear to be in a relationship at the end, right? That's basically it.
Good job, Disney.
Yeah, and then they've been doing that with the Marvel movies and the Star Wars movies too, where they'll like throw out these little tidbits of just sort of like being so proud of themselves for being inclusive, and it's just like, oh, these two extras basically kiss in the background of the new Star Wars movie, or like literally one of the directors of the Avengers movie plays an openly gay man in one scene of this 10-year, 45-hour franchise, and they act like they're fucking heroes of pop culture and media representation, and it's ridiculous. Just give her a girlfriend or shut up.
So don't take the credit if you're not going to
Actually do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the plot of Frozen 2?
I hope
Does
so.
anyone
Sure.
know?
I have no idea what the plot
No.
is. I literally saw a trailer where Frozen like runs up a tidal wave, and it's pretty cool. Like the
Oh.
animation is pretty neat. And maybe there's a forest of magic or something.
Can I
I think from what I've seen in Frozen 2, there's all these madcaps where Kristoff is trying to propose to Anna, but he keeps getting interrupted.
Oh.
LOL.
I've literally only seen like a screen grab from the movie where they were showing the detail of the stitching on Elsa's dress.
Wow.
Trying to take credit for that too.
Yeah, they're
I
like,
mean, I guess be proud of your dress rendering.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
ice dress.
Can we go ahead?
I want to know, Dan, you seemed confused and irritated by her ability to make a dress. I
Oh,
wonder
yeah.
if you wanted to also yell about that.
I mean, not yet.
Wait, let me light another match.
It was just, I think it was, and this, I mean, a lot of cartoons do this when it comes to powers that I don't understand, where like they'll use their magic and like their clothes will just sort of like change, but like the nature of their powers wouldn't necessarily just like cleanly like cut off the like top of her
what
dress.
you would like to see is
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that at the end, where Elsa returns the town to Summer,
Yeah.
and then in a gesture of love creates an ice rink and puts ice skates on people's feet made of ice.
Yes.
That she should take the additional step of making sure they're all wearing light blue dresses,
Ice dresses.
ice dresses.
I mean, that would be fun, sure.
But I mean, that would prove that it's not just like a mix-up or laziness in the story.
Here's what I think. Okay, so her power is ice and love.
Right.
So,
Wait, her power's love too?
yeah,
Well,
that's how she
like-
melted everything.
I mean, that's like her off switch.
Yeah, I thought
Right.
that was
The opposite of fear.
My
Yeah.
guess is
Ooh,
that
nice.
it's not an ice dress. It is a love dress because she loves fashion.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but that still doesn't explain how her original garment has fabric over her shoulders and up to her neck.
Yeah.
And when she makes the ice dress from the floor up, the shoulder and neck part just disappears.
Well, now, to be fair, she had been shedding pieces of clothing the whole time, right?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
loses her cape. She
Yeah.
loses
shedding her own
tiara.
life as a child.
Yeah, so maybe
And-
that front top part is just detachable.
Yeah,
and
but
we
you
didn't
And
see
ice
it.
is just a much thinner
but we
fabric.
would have seen it. That's what I'm saying. The camera never cuts away when the dress comes up to
All
that
right.
area of her body.
Can we talk more about how it's about adolescence?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. There's the song that goes with it is "Want to Build a Snowman,"
Oh,
which is so beautiful, but it's basically like the cats in the cradle of
yes.
sisterhood.
Yes, of young sisters.
Young sisters. It is completely heartbreaking, and I was just as upset watching it now as I had been the first time I saw it in theaters. It is so beautiful. It's so beautiful, and anyone who doesn't like that song is still my friend.
All right.
But I just feel like you need to watch it again.
I was very touched by it, Mom.
Oh, thank you.
I'm surprised Anna doesn't give up
On what?
on Ilsa.
Well, she never gives up on Elsa.
Yes, I am
Elsa.
surprised.
Elsa.
Everyone keeps saying Elsa.
But it's Elsa?
Elsa.
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 With an E.
E.
Elsa.
It's not
Elsa.
Elsa. Not like an eel.
Yes, not like
Like an L.
Javina Jazaz or whatever.
I'm familiar
What?
with the
What
other
is that?
Scandinavian name, Ilsa.
Whatever John Travolta called the voice of Elsa.
The
at one
wickedly talented. What did he actually say?
I don't know.
India
Adele
Ari.
Dazeem or
Something
something like that.
Is that not her name? What's her name?
No, her name is.
Adina Menzel. Nope. No.
Tweet
Okay.
at us, Channing.
Oh,
How
yeah.
was that? You know.
Yeah. You're
I'll
playing
send you a
friends.
dog back.
You're both in theater,
I bet I could find
dance and song.
easily a picture of a dog wearing an Elsa dress.
Absolutely.
Oh,
no
that'd be great.
question.
Yeah.
5 seconds I could find that dog.
Probably like a stout faced dog.
Yeah, like a bulldog or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to look for that after this.
Please do. Sorry, I feel like
I'm surprised Anna didn't give up because it's like
she had no one else, though. You already said that.
a chunk of years, but I'm like, Tay, do you want to build a snowman? Every couple months, you want to build a snowman, and the answers always go away.
She kind of does give up because it starts with that like kind of peppy knock.
Yeah.
And
that-
then eventually she just walks by the door.
Right.
And then the last time she knocks is the funeral day.
Several did.
So did Elsa not even go to the funeral because she was so worried about?
Icing
Feeling?
people. Yeah.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah. And she's sitting in like a very icy room.
Yeah.
Yeah, cold never bothered her anyway.
It's a very good
I
point.
mean, I guess they
It's a
showed
defense
before
mechanism.
they told, so that's nice.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so tragic.
And to be
They
fair,
could've-
she does mix it up a little as she gets older. Like the lyrics show that she's also saying like we could do other stuff too.
Yeah.
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 That's true. It was just sort of like it's like the playing catch in the yard
Yeah.
of sisterhood.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Do fathers and sons literally play catch?
I
Have you
played catch with my child.
How'd it go?
Great.
Did you feel connected?
Yeah.
But like more so than other interactions?
No, but I'm not much of a sportsman.
Sure.
Oh,
But like, what if you like watched a movie together, or, like played a video game,
We
or
did
board game or something?
We did play our first board game in the style of roll a dice, move a piece.
Yeah.
Oh,
Candyland?
The old roll of dice movie piece.
Dino Stomp.
What's
or
that?
Dino
Oh.
Roar?
What is that?
I mean, it's a game where you have dinosaurs, you roll dice, you move a number of squares, and you do something on the square sometimes.
Great. Okay. Is there a dinosaur that roars?
You are the dinosaur that roars.
Oh, that's fun.
that is fun.
That's so empowering.
Yeah.
Or stomps or eats.
What do you eat?
Pretend food.
Oh, okay. But you could probably use real food if you wanted to, right? Make it a little fun,
Sure.
interactive.
Sure.
Oh, drinking game.
Molly.
Okay. Well,
Molly.
not
It's for,
for
Molly.
children.
It's for a child.
Okay, fine.
He's a child.
A milk drinking
Ugh,
game.
Yeah.
Milk drinking game.
it's fine. He's a child.
Yeah.
Well,
Milk-
you'd have to drink it
milk
too
is for
because you're
children.
playing the game.
No, I
Yeah.
would drink a lemonade.
Ew.
Ew.
What?
What's wrong with lemonade?
Children sell it. Doesn't that make it a child's drink?
No,
You're
they're
anti-lemonade?
selling it. They're giving it away to adults.
I don't like the idea of someone drinking milk and another person.
It's not like they're mixing them together.
It just was sour and dairy together. Just doesn't sound
But
good
it's
to
not
me.
together. They're in separate containers.
Yeah, but like,
They're just so close.
well, because milk
You're
is
afraid
like
they could spill
The
into each
potential
other.
for contamination.
just lemonade is like a summer drink.
Okay.
It's light and refreshing. Milk is like a heavy winter drink.
Wait, you only drink milk in the winter?
No.
This is new
Yeah, this is
information.
new
Is
But
coming
it
to
is
light.
like it
But
is.
you don't drink milk on a hot day.
No,
you
it's-
wouldn't be like, oh, it's so hot.
milk on any
They're
day.
they're the opposite drinks, and I don't like the idea of two people enjoying them at the same time.
Okay, just
Yeah, you
just
gotta
to
keep-
make it clear.
Keep things that are different apart. That's what I'm saying.
Not what I'm saying.
But also to be clear,
What I'm saying is you're trying to be closer to your son,
Right.
Yeah,
and you are clearly pulling your son away from you.
or dinosaurs.
gave my son a glass of milk, drank myself a lemonade, and then I don't know. Then he went to college, and I was too busy working. That's what the song's about, mostly.
That's what the song's about.
Olaf is in this movie.
Yes,
we
he
haven't
is.
talked about him
Olaf
much.
the
It would be like
snow-
Olaf drinking a lemonade.
I mean,
That's
he
what I
drank-
was going to say earlier. That would have been
Oh.
a better transition.
He was
but I
drinking like an
didn't get in
iced,
there.
Yeah,
it
like
wasn't
an iced
lemonade,
tea.
though, right? It was more maybe like a berry
Almost look like a hibiscus
Ooh,
drink,
there you go.
I would say.
or like an elderberry. What grows in Sweden?
Lingonberry?
Ooh,
Oh,
probably
yeah, that's
lingonberry
right.
juice.
Yeah.
Definitely nice. Okay, sorry, Olaf.
Well, I was just Olaf is adorable
Mm-hmm.
and so even funnier physically and jokily than I remembered.
You were real. The jokes were really landing
Oh,
for me,
yeah.
Molly.
Yeah, Molly was like legit LOLing at almost every Olaf line.
Yeah, it's true. I was checking my watch some other times, so just saying.
I love that song. It is very funny.
But
the
also
moment where
real dark, and I love that.
He jumps and he's like, and I'll be and he looks down and there's a puddle.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
would have rhymed.
Happy snowman.
That's cute.
It's great.
That's great.
That's delightful.
I also like the line where he said like, yeah, like I think it's like in the first verse where he's like, I'll be doing whatever snow does in the summer. Like, that's fun. That's a fun game.
The other thing I noticed this time about Olaf that I hadn't noticed before is
His one giant tooth.
no, I didn't notice that.
No.
He's got one giant tooth.
Yeah.
What I loved about Olaf is how eternally optimistic he is and how much he doesn't have any imagination for bad things happening.
Yes.
But then there were a couple times where I guess the plot dictated it, but there were a couple times where he was duplicitous and he seemed to understand the intention, like when he was stopping the big abominable snowman,
Yeah.
creature that was going after them.
Marshmallow, he named
that
it.
might have been adolescence. That might have been the
monsters?
embodiment of adolescence.
I like
that monster that was there to
Yes.
protect.
A
Absolutely.
lot of go away coming out of that monster.
right.
Oh
The
yeah, like get out of my
manifestation.
room, don't come
Yeah.
back.
The
Yeah.
manifestation of pubescent rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Which that monster looks cool. I like that monster's design. Whoever
Yeah.
designed that character
Great
obviously spent all their brain energy on that and none of it on Eric Trump goon. They're
Sure.
like, this monster is awesome. I got 10 minutes left to draw this goon. I don't know.
you
Fuck
think
it.
they
Some
you
loser.
think they cut corners and they didn't have someone just design the background characters? They were like, "Hey man, when you're done with the monster character, can you just populate the whole town?" Oh shit!
spent all my time with this cool looking ice snow golem. Yeah. I like that it's mostly snow, but then it's got ice claws.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Nice
like ice shin
mix.
spikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good claws and jaws.
Claws and
Cousin
jaws.
Jaws,
Yeah,
It
it's
was
a
great.
real
marshmallow.
ring.
That's what Olaf named it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is
but
fun.
why was? But anyway, so the
Puberty.
point is, I enjoyed Olaf so much, but I didn't like that they had to make him duplicitous in a couple places because there's no reason for that. It doesn't match his character.
What does he do? Give me an example
Well,
specifically.
he's like I'm going to get rid of the snowman or whatever marshmallow.
Yeah.
And then this marshmallow shows up and he said, "Oh, we were just talking about you. Only good things." And
Yeah.
it's like, no, you weren't. You were saying mean things.
Were they
Why
saying
are
mean
you
things, though?
lying? I thought so.
What
They
were they
weren't
saying
saying,
that
I
was
hope
mean?
he shows up so we can hang out and go to a party together.
I think they were saying neutral things at least.
Well, then he should have said only neutral things.
But he's trying to make everybody happy, right?
I guess so, but that just makes him like, it just changes the character slightly.
I feel like him lying to the troll people to get Anna to run is a better example of that.
Okay, I agree. It's a better example. Yeah. It's much. I wish I'd thought of that one.
Yeah.
Because he like explicitly is
And then
poorly whispering other intentions to Anna.
Yeah.
And then also, if he's kind of a younger child stand-in,
Yes.
like bright-eyed, full of imagination, and then to also not believe that the rocks are family also kind of undercuts that.
Yeah.
Anyway, they did a bad job with Olaf.
Yeah. He should melt.
He
No.
shots fired.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he's got a microclimate of cold all the
Yeah,
time now.
flurry, his own flurry.
His own flurry.
Which, if those are the rules, I feel like Elsa should have one of those clouds above her to keep that dress on.
Oh, if the dress is ice.
It has to be.
No,
Well,
it's
I think
love.
she can probably.
It's a love dress.
She
Anything
can
that touches her
radiate
skin.
cold.
I
yes.
guess that's true. It's like Iceman in the X-Men.
Yeah.
Like she can just cover herself with an icy sheen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
No fire powers out of Anna.
No.
No.
I kept kind of thinking.
You got real
You
excited.
were hoping.
It was gonna happen.
Honestly, I was like, oh, that's right. At the end, she does get fire powers, and that's how she melts everything.
No.
Yeah, I
Or
just
red
have like,
powers. They're not really fire, but like everything's red instead of blue.
Yeah.
No, that didn't
I just
happen.
have a memory of like a branded McDonald's glass or something, and
Oh.
she's holding like a fireball. But it could be any number of other.
Anything else like
it
a
might
lantern?
be a very
Could
hot
be like
burger.
a Magic the Gathering. It's like it's
Wait.
so many generic.
Wait, what?
Wait, you're saying it wasn't even a frozen thing that you're thinking of?
I think it was, but I'm saying that is such a standard image of like a mage with a little fireball
I see.
hovering
Yeah.
above their hand. that,
Yes.
like that could have crept
with like
in
a
anywhere.
with like a shock of different colored hair. Even.
yeah,
Total mage
and
look.
like red hair.
Yeah. And like a
But-
old timey tunic dress
Yeah.
cloak thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, one thing I liked is that, and I know Beth called it right away the first time she ever saw this movie.
It's not a big deal, but I know
Yeah.
Oh, that
movies
Hans
work.
was a
that
bad
Hans,
boy.
Prince Charming, was going to turn out to
He's
be
a bad boy.
awful. But I really admired watching it a second time through that, first of all, they establish he's not a bad dude or lead you to believe he's not a bad
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Not only through his interaction with Anna, but the way he treats his horse. Even when his horse messes up and he ends up in the water,
Right.
any bad guy would get upset and yell at his horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he gives a fond smile, which is a little bit like patting the dog, right?
Yes.
But then it takes so long for him to reveal himself.
Yeah.
And when he finally does, it's at the most devastating moment, as opposed to a moment for a song or something. I love that.
He might be the first like actual psychopath Disney villain,
Oh,
right?
Yeah. I mean,
Because
that,
like he's like he basically is like a Gaston, but like Gaston is like so like it's everything's right on the surface.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're getting with
Eating all
Gaston.
those eggs. He's got a hairy chest.
Yeah. He likes to hunt things.
Yeah.
He leans in front of women.
Yeah.
This guy didn't lean in
Yeah.
front of any women.
no.
no.
Helping him out.
But like he does. He like actually he presents a specific outward personality to manipulate the people that he needs to. He's like giving blankets to the citizens of Arendelle
Yeah.
so they'll accept him as their new ruler,
Yep.
which is another thing.
Because there's a huge power vacuum.
But
why?
Who determines?
Yeah, Anna just says, I leave Prince, what's his name?
Hans.
Hans in charge.
Yeah, and everyone's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, she hasn't come of age because
No,
she's the younger
correct.
sister, right?
That's correct.
But
yes.
she's a princess.
But if
So does
if
she?
Elsa wasn't in charge until the coronation,
Right.
Anna shouldn't be in
Well,
charge
maybe
at that
we
same
are
time.
making it, maybe the coronation is just,
Maybe it's just a religious thing.
it's just like getting christened or something.
Because they are
you know?
Christians, as we established in the first
That's
half.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
they-
you know
Unlike
what I
the
mean?
Trump
It's a
No, the rock people
ceremonial
are.
Rock people.
moment as opposed to a de facto when you take actual charge. So yeah, maybe Elsa has been locked in her frozen room, like governing. We won't know.
just like
because she
writing
opened the
notes
door.
and slipping them under the door.
Yeah.
She did seem like very comfortable in that role.
Yes.
Like as soon as she had to like
For sure.
I can't remember what her first orders were. Oh, like I think she said like open the gates or
Yeah.
something like that. It just seemed like very natural. So
She's a natural ruler.
yeah. Well, she's a queen.
Well, but also sometimes queens can, destroy stuff.
Yeah.
It's true.
Rise up, serfs. The Icemen and Ice Women need to come from the hinterlands
That's
to
right.
take over the city.
Yes.
I was going to say the reason that I think when watching it again, the reason that I knew so early that Hans was bad was that he was too perfect. Like in every single Disney movie, like the person is a fixer-upper.
Right.
Like they do, like, that's the story, is like the prince or whatever, the love interest does like need to be fixed, or there's some sort of like tension or something. And I was like, he's too good.
But that is what I liked about the subversion of this movie, is that like that's like more modern Disney movies for sure, but like the old school ones and like the real fairy, like just the classic European fairy tales that they based the first few Disney animation movies are, like it is literally Prince Charming.
Yeah,
he's
that's
like
true.
perfect man. I did enjoy the fact that like Anna and you, the audience, are sort of just supposed to be like, oh yeah, this is just how this goes. But then I appreciate the fact that then this movie is basically saying like, maybe Prince Charming was a psychopath and was just wielding his power.
That's true. I also appreciated two things about the Anna Kristoff dynamic. One, that Anna had never at any point said, what should we do? Which happens a lot in movies where women turn to anybody and say, what do we do?
Yeah.
And two, I appreciated that Kristoff voiced his reindeer.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
they didn't make him a talking reindeer.
Yes.
They had Kristoff take on the voice of his reindeer, and it was so real.
Yeah, it also made it like, I feel like when I first saw this movie, like I feel like that is what was like the clincher of like, oh, this reindeer is just a dog. Because I'm just like, yeah, that's what you do with a dog.
Yeah, you do the good dog voice too.
Yeah, you do the good dog voice.
Yeah.
We all get it.
We don't
I
get
do it.
We know what good dog voices.
Channing knows.
He certainly does. Every day, 20 dog tweets. Definitely still doing it.
Yep.
I liked how they did a good job of making, like, kind of having the turn of Kristoff being Anna's love interest be like acceptable, like an acceptable choice for her, but also in like a very healthy way where it didn't end where it's just like, boom, we're so in love, we're getting married right now. It was literally just like, yeah, this might work. Like that was where it ended. It was just sort of like,
Well, and he politely asks for consent
oh, so good.
before he kisses
That
her.
might have been the best part of the movie. Where he's
Yeah.
like,
Great.
I'd like to kiss, or like he said something like, I could kiss you. I mean, may I? I mean, may we? Mutual.
Yeah.
Teens, hey,
Hey, teens.
Listen up, teens.
if anyone knows how to cool it, it's the ice merchant.
Yeah, he's cooling it 24/7.
He's
right.
been cooling it his whole life.
That's right.
Yep.
And he kept it cool, and he got
The smooch.
the smooch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Keep
so
it cool,
he
get
was
the
raised
smooch.
by trolls, but he didn't go into troll business.
What is troll
He
business?
continued
Love?
on. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Forced marriage.
Yeah, pressuring.
He kept harvesting ice.
Brainwashing children.
Like, do you think that all of those couples had been like forced into their relationships? Because there was a point
By
where
that Papa
like a
Smurf
bunch,
guy?
yeah, like
Yeah.
a bunch of them kissed at the same time.
Right.
Not like each other, but like a bunch of couples.
Each couple.
Do you
Yeah.
think
Kind of a cult.
Okay, so if
Rock cult.
he's abducted by trolls, we've established it's
Yes.
fact,
Yes.
but he's still harvesting ice.
Right.
Why is he not seeing all the other icemen? Did they, when they diverged, did they all fall into the sea and get killed by the ocean as well? And he's the only iceman left?
Do you think he's the last Iceman?
Last of the icemen.
Oh.
Iceman.
He doesn't want to fly with the
you
other
know
ones
what?
because they're dangerous.
You know what it is? I bet they're on vacation because it's summer.
Oh.
Did you just whisper Iceman coming?
Maybe that happened in Frozen too.
Heyo!
What?
Yikes, what? No one's giving you a high five for that. Nope. You can put both hands up, but it's not happening.
do we-
Molly's trying so hard not to high five
What
you
does
right
Dan
now.
want a high five for?
Your joke about how in Frozen 2 the Iceman cometh.
Oh. Yeah. It's pretty good. Dan really is, he's like jonesing for a high five, everybody.
Well, I learned while watching the movie that Molly gets high fives for bad jokes, but I don't.
Yeah.
It's
That's true. Because my bad jokes are really bad.
Also, there's a difference. Molly gets high fives for bad jokes. What you're doing is dad jokes.
Oh.
Also, I think I get high fives for bad jokes that I genuinely enjoy.
Correct.
They're not
I enjoy
performative
my jokes.
for a child who's not even there to enjoy.
Look, I enjoy getting mad at your jokes. That's a fun dynamic we have.
All right.
You're providing me a great service.
Okay. Molly, you both wanted to talk about the women crew and then also told me, don't mention it. I don't care. It's not a big deal. So I'm not sure what to do about this topic, but I did write it down. So I'm going to check it off now. If you want to say
No,
anything,
sure.
go.
To be clear, Dan wrote it down last as requested.
Well, I just if we got to it, and
Well, here we are.
well, here we are. So one thing that I noticed when I was watching, I think it was Zootopia. It was one of the Disney movies that I very much enjoyed. Is that it took at least 20 different screens, right? So at first they do a single title or a single name title and a bunch of those and then a bunch of names. It took like the 20th screen to find any woman's name anywhere on one of these animated films that I think was Zootopia, but it might have been something different. And I was so upset about it. And then, so that's just been a thing I've been watching for. But then in Frozen, there are women all over it. And it's just such a delightful thing to see. Because I also think about, like, when I was a kid, I would watch the credits and try to figure out which thing I would do. And it just really helps. I think representation matters. And that's it. That's what I wanted to say. It was a little preachy. That's why I put it last.
But also, Disney, don't talk to Vanity Fair or whatever. It's like, we've got incredible representation on the crew of this movie. And then it's just like, yes, they show up on screen 5 instead of screen 20. Right?
And
Right.
is John Lasseter a creep?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
He no longer works for the Disney Corporation.
It's cringy because he's on everything. Because he was executive producer of everything. Because
Yeah.
he oversaw everything.
He was Lord Pixar for a long time.
Ugh,
Man,
that's a bummer.
it's a super bummer.
Don't
Wait,
worry.
there was a guy in
Huh?
a very high position of power. It turned out to be a creep.
In Hollywood?
USA?
What?
I'm
Well,
shocked.
it's just so frustrating because they're the
Yeah.
gatekeepers.
It is
And they're the
frustrating.
and I think it's especially galling the gatekeepers of things that little girls are watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and little people of anyway,
Of
whatever.
all types.
Of all types.
Of all
Yeah.
types. Creeps, get out of business.
Yeah, get out of business.
Go-
Get into jail?
Yeah.
All right.
Why don't you just get up from your desk,
Okay.
walk straight to the closest prison,
Yeah.
lock
Say-
yourself in there,
Say-
It's me, a creep.
Just say, excuse me, warden. I am a creep. I
Yeah.
and they'll know what to do.
don't know what to do.
A podcast out
going
of
to-
Minneapolis, Minnesota, where they have the Seward Co-op,
Right.
sent me to jail.
You're welcome, everyone.
It's
but
We've
also,
solved it.
but also, while you're there, maybe like, also, if you have any low-level drug offenders in here, I'll take their place while we're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You know
like,
what? While I'm here, I'll just read up on the justice system and fix it. Let you know how to do it right.
Yeah,
And here's
I'll
all
use
my money for public defenders.
Right.
To
I'll-
be able to spend more resources.
Yeah, I'll use all of my creep energy and refocus it into rebuilding the justice system in this country.
Yeah. Okay. High level creeps
Yeah.
still go to jail.
Yes.
Mid level creeps, reinvest your creep energy to reform the criminal justice.
Yeah, but first,
Yeah.
definitely get up from your desk, walk
get
out.
up. Yeah, walk
Yeah.
out. Yes.
That's the first
First
step.
step, no matter what.
Almost.
Any
Actually,
level
that's
of creep?
good advice for almost everybody at a job.
Sure.
And you know what? Announce it. Just let everyone know. You can relax. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I am a creep.
Yeah.
Acknowledge.
Tear your AirPods out that
Right.
you've just used to listen to Totes Recall.
Yeah.
Apple pay us for that mention. Say, I'm a creep. Totes Recall told me so.
Totes Recall.
Great
a
podcast.
in Minneapolis.
Okay, but first, then leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Then go to jail.
Yes.
Or reform the criminal justice system based on your creep level.
Right.
But I guess also you don't get to decide the
No.
level of creep
No,
you are.
I was going to say, well, and you don't get to decide how to fix the justice system. You probably would make
Yeah.
it worse.
Right. I mean,
Okay,
you can
find a-
put your resources towards it.
Yes.
And like, if you've got a couple of ideas, sure, throw them out there.
Well, why don't you hire people who
Yeah.
don't look like you or act like you
Right.
hire them to fix
Yeah,
things.
go out on the street,
Okay.
find someone who doesn't look at you. Go, hey, I'm a creep.
Here's money.
Here's
Okay.
money
When
to
they run
change
away.
the system.
I don't know if that's the approach that we.
Okay, look, we're still
We're
workshopping this.
spitballing this.
Okay.
Okay, I believe we have a $10,000 a month Patreon level where we become the Cool It Teens motivational recess.
Oh, right. Yes.
For
Where we bring a keyboard and
let's say
costumes.
50,000,
Yeah.
we will also come to your corporate event
Yes.
and yell at the creeps and tell them to
Absolutely.
go what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. You can hire us. You can surreptitiously give us a list of the known creeps,
Yes.
and we will call them out by name.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I want to do that so bad. That's amazing.
Yeah.
We'll call it Cool It Creeps.
Cool It
Cool
Creeps.
creeps.
Yeah.
There will still be a keyboard. There will
a
still be
keyboard.
costumes.
We'll still wear,
And by the end,
solid
they'll know
colored
where to
t-shirts.
go. Straight to prison.
yes.
yeah, or to a nonprofit supporting the criminal justice reform.
Then to prison.
But yeah. I don't-
Or just, you know what? Honestly, like mid-level creeps, low-level creeps, just go home, right? Just stay home. Give all your money to people to fix stuff, and then just fucking take your house that you made with your creep money and just stay there. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, okay, addendum. Again, we're workshopping this. If you definitely know that something you did is still within the statute of limitations,
Go to jail.
definitely go to some arm of the criminal justice system. Work that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you're at a point where you don't serve jail time, which is a whole other issue, but whatever. If that isn't the case, just stay home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Again, we're workshopping
And
this.
maybe
figure it out.
watch this movie, Frozen.
Yes.
Lock yourself inside. If somebody comes by and says, "Do you want to build a snowman?"
Yeah.
Say,
Say
"Go."
no.
ahead.
No, I am a
I am a
creep.
creep. I do not deserve to build a snowman.
Snowmen are for not creeps.
That's right. Yeah, that is something I think we can firmly say as a firm stance of the podcast. Snowmen, not for creeps.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
You think Olaf's going to hang out with a creep?
No.
No. But
No laugh.
also, no laugh.
Just say no love.
Just say no laugh.
Received.
This episode is about the movie Frozen.
Frozen.
We watched it.
We did.
You can too.
We had a
can
lot
too.
to say about it.
And before we get to our final ratings of the movie Frozen that we watched,
And talked about exclusively.
we like to read a review of our podcast, totesregal.com,
Yeah.
in the impression of a character from the movie that we watched and talked about, Frozen.
Nice.
And we have reviews. Thank you. A maximum rating review.
Yes.
We only check Apple Podcasts, I think.
Do we? Are we still only checking Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, I mean, let us know if you leave it somewhere else. I
Let
found
us know. Let us know. Let us know if you leave a review on Stitcher.
Or Spotify. Is there reviews on Spotify? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Be our first
Probably.
Spotify review.
You can
yeah.
at least
Oh.
like star something, right?
Yeah, I think so. I also found another thing recently when I can somebody was like, the Beauty and the Beast episode was very funny.
When they wrote
Wait,
that
some
somewhere.
rando just wrote that somewhere?
Just like on a piece of paper on the ground.
Yeah, it was
Did
really
someone
weird.
run out of an office
No.
say, "Hi, I'm a creep. Here's a review of your podcast"?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what happened.
Great.
Great. So this one is from Apple Podcasts. Is anybody feeling particularly inspired?
Can I make a request?
Absolutely.
A Totes request? I would like Molly to read this in Kristoff's voice for his reindeer.
Oh, you're a good dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Wow.
a good doggy. Okay. Okay. I think I got this. Okay. While the world is crumbling around us,
Good start. Strong.
this podcast always a lovely break from reality. I love reminiscing on old movies and hearing the host take them on. I almost stopped listening when.
Oh.
Nope, that's wrong. That's something else.
Oh, he was a good dog. I always stopped listening when they tore apart one of my favorite movies.
Oh, no.
Freaky Friday. Oh, we're
Okay.
talking. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. Freaky Friday.
Ooh,
Oh
she
no,
broke character.
It disappeared. It disappeared. Make it glow.
Make it glow. Make it glow.
Turn on the phone.
But I'm glad I'm glad I stuck around. Hey, thank you so much, Nope. Thank you so much, Pam 4951.
Oh,
Thank you,
That is
Pam.
a super nice
4951.
podcast.
Thank you, Pam 4951.
Really,
Thank you, Pam.
I just we need to talk about Freaky Friday sometime.
But also, let's appreciate that
Yeah.
they stuck around even after we tore apart Freaky
That's
Friday.
fair.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really
That is a
fair.
respectful.
Years ago.
It really is.
That is a respectful listener.
That is a kind listener.
They let it go.
Wow.
They did let it go.
Thank you, Pam 4951. You are awesome, and I'm sorry my good boy dog wasn't
was
as
great.
good a voice
It was
as
great.
I wanted. Good boy dog.
Good boy, dog.
My good boy dog.
Good boy, dog.
Is that one of the shorts? One of the Frozen shorts they made after this
Good Boy
made
Dog?
$1 billion? Good Boy Dog starring
Good boy,
Sven.
dog.
But then in parentheses, actually, it's a reindeer.
Yeah.
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 Yep. They did.
Yep.
All right. Our final reviews. Dan. Oh,
Yeah.
these are rock Olafs.
Right, which
Whatever
are-
that means to you.
Right. Okay. I forgot that it was sort of a dynamic thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dan, you gave it 3. I didn't write good notes for this. You gave it a 3.
Yeah. I think I still really appreciate, like, you know, overall I still really appreciate sort of the like soft touch subversion they do with a lot of the kind of heteronormative patriarchal tropes of fairy tales and like these kind of stories of like princess and princes and love and blah blah blah. The ice animation was really cool. Love that, Sven. I still think the fact that it was more like a musical than a Disney movie that happens to be musical sort of made it less interesting for me, because it felt like the plot was sometimes like paper thin just so they could have another weird song about like forcing people to marry or whatever. But I feel like it accomplished enough to be more than a coward band. So I'm going to give it, because these are Olafs, I can do this and it doesn't cause any harm. 3.5 rock Olafs. So it's just
Oh, because Olaf easily splits.
like constantly falls apart in this movie, and these other parts are fine,
And they seem sort of autonomous.
which is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
But
That
not
is
in a
fun.
creepy way, in a fun way.
Right.
It's a fun way.
It is. I come back to me. I'll try to figure out which part of his body is the half and what instrument they play.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Beth, you gave it 2. Thinking it's probably not that good.
Yeah, I think it deserves more than 2 because it's not like I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Okay.
Like, I don't. It just feels like a nothing movie to me, kind of.
Wow.
Like, there are little elements of it that I enjoy, but in general, I find it kind of boring.
Whoa.
The animation is incredible, and that's how I feel about it. So I'm going to give it 3 in the middle, right in the middle.
Right in
Great.
the middle.
Yeah.
I feel about the same. Yeah. It feels really, just kind of
On.
bland for me. Fell really flat. It like they did a good job making this movie, and I
Yes.
just don't think that the movie they made is one that I like. It could be, as Dan said, it's more of a musical than others are, and musicals don't do it for me. So there's that going on, and then they just weren't big moments for me. And as I was coming down, I was like, oh, I don't think it's better than 2. It's a 3. But then down here, I got real fired up about not understanding the governmental structure in Arendelle, and I think that means it stays at a 2 for me.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
Black Keys
the Black Keys.
of Snowmen.
Yeah,
Well,
Molly,
Yeah.
you gave it a 4, thinking you'd probably like it.
yeah. Apparently, I'm not so obsessed with plot that I can't enjoy a fun movie that presents some excellent physical comedy and
Yeah.
incredible animation, beautiful songs.
Yeah.
That sometimes further the plot. And why is the plot such a big deal? What are we watching? Like a murder
Story?
mystery here? What'd you say?
A story.
Hush. There was plenty of story, and it subverted a lot of tropes.
It did.
And was fun.
It did.
And you
Was.
are
Oh.
grumpy.
Ooh.
I find I give you each
Jacques Hughes. Jacques Hughes.
3 Olaf's.
Wait, what are you giving them?
3.
Just 3?
I'm giving them middle 3. They're my friends.
Okay, well,
All right.
Wow.
And I give the movie, I would have given it a 4, but I am so outraged by your grumpiness, I'm giving it a 4.5.
wow.
And the part of Olaf it is the middle, and it's playing guitar.
Whoa.
Oh, the little stick arms?
Yeah, those
That's
stick
nice.
arms.
That's fun. For me, it's the feet, and it's playing that giant floor keyboard from Big.
Oh, sure. I mean, that might have
Don't
bumped it
you-
up to a 3 for me if they'd done that.
Well, I mean, the keyboard it gets covered in snow like every few minutes.
Yeah, if only the Disney animators had thought of that. Come on, cowardly 2.
Oh, I think it's very brave
I'm brave.
to do a 2, right?
Well,
Yeah,
happy
I feel bad.
Valentine's Day,
Oh, yeah,
everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day. We love you.
Yeah.
Quick reminders from the show. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
We love you.
Yep.
Yep.
Creeps go to jail.
Or, I mean, again, we're workshopping. For sure, get up and walk away from your desk.
Yeah.
Also, just give her a girlfriend, you coward.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Elsa.
Yeah.
Or
Elsa.
don't.
Or maybe it happened.
Just shut up about it if you're not going to do it.
Yep.
Sorry.
Fair.
Sorry.
We
Hot
try
take.
to end every podcast on a threat.
Yeah.
So a major coverage. And also, you're welcome, Disney, for this cross-platform
This
marketing.
incredible synergy.
We know that Frozen needed a little boost.
Right.
Go
And
buy
so-
Frozen 2 on Blu-ray. Let it go.
In the show.
And the show.
It's been 3 hours at least, probably.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.